Okay, I think I got it. Thanks for sticking with me for a second here. One of the settings got messed up. Anyways, Drew Rebar, auditing Reno 911, and I got served a cease and desist demand by this gal right here. For those of you guys that don't watch me, I am suing Washoe County and suing Our Center. Why am I suing them? Because they exclude people from public spaces based on their, well, if they're LGBTQ positive or not. And they excluded me from some events, trespassed me from stuff, and so I sued them. And it appears that the attorneys don't like what I'm talking about. And so they're giving me cease and desist letter. So I just thought I'd share the cease and desist letter with everybody and let you know what's going on with it and how I responded to it. And maybe it can help other people in the future when attorneys do this to them. So first of all, let's share the cease and desist letter. Let's bring this thing up here and go over this. So, Mr. Rebar, as you know, we represent Build Our Center Incorporated, BOC, in a matter currently pending before the Federal District Court. This letter serves as a formal notice that your conduct constitutes multiple violations of Nevada law. We hereby demand that you immediately cease and desist all unlawful acts regarding BOC's counsel, Allison Curtis and Rachel Wise, as well as any other attorney or employee from their firms. Counsel. Excuse me. We are aware of your YouTube video entitled Lying and Attacking Corrupt District Attorneys, in which you prominently display the photographs and discuss counsel on your channel entitled Auditing Reno 911. Your video include, among other things, the following harassing and vexatious statements about counsel. Harassing and vexatious. Are they true or are they untrue? Anyways, we'll get back to reading. Sorry about that. Accusing Ms. Curtis of either lying or having her employees put fake affidavit into the court. Well, let me stop reading this right here for just a second. And let me put up here what I'm referring to. And the court hasn't determined any of these things are fake yet. I'm just saying from my perspective, well, let me share with you guys what I've got here. Let's get this out of here. And I think this is the one we want. Is this the Declaration of Guadalupe? Yeah, this is the submitted to the court Declaration of Guadalupe Garcia. And Guadalupe is employed as a receptionist with the Sierra Crest Business Law Group. And she says in the early afternoon of September 16th, 2025, between 1:45 p.m. to 3 p.m., she witnessed a man driving his vehicle slowly past Sierra Crest Business Law Group. I observed him looking unnervingly into our windows. Upon being presented with a picture of Mr. Rebar, that's me, I'm accused of being stalking people driving past their windows. That's not a very nice thing to accuse people of, especially when they didn't do it. Upon being presented with a picture of Mr. Rebar, so she'd never seen me before, but she was given a picture of me afterwards, and discussing with paralegal Jerry Scott her observations of Mr. Rebar from the previous day, I was able to connect the dots, and she recognized the man driving the car as Mr. Rebar. So Guadalupe Garcia has sworn out an affidavit to the court that she saw me driving past slowly. This realization made her uncomfortable and frightened because I knew he was not supposed to be at our office that day for any reason. And if good old Guadalupe there wanted to go to court, she would swear to that. Yeah, hit that like button. Thank you. So that leads to a question. So she said, let's go back here again. She said very clearly here, December 16th, around 2025 to 1:45 to 3 p.m. So what I did was I pulled up my GPS from my phone and took a screenshot of it. So it looks like she said 1:45 to 3 p.m. Well, at 1:50 p.m. till 2:17 p.m., I was at Reno Town Mall. And actually where I was at, I'll tell everybody where I was at here. I went to Reno Town Mall to go see the RSCVA, which is kind of over there in the same buildings, which is the Reno Sparks Convention Visitor Authority. And they collect a bunch of taxes and they give your tax money away is what they do. And they gave $5,000. I think it was five. We can go double check if I'm wrong. Check it out. $5,000 of your tax dollars to Our Center, the clients that this woman represents that wants me to cease and desist. So all I'm doing is following the money. And while I'm following the money, they're accusing me of being places that I never was. And why do I say that? Well, I say that because let's zoom in here a little bit more if I can. Where did that screen go? This one here? Or this? Ah, here it is. Yep, I think that's the one. Okay, so anyways, like I said, I was down here over at the RSCVA, and she said 1:45 to 3 something. I left there at 2:17 p.m. and then I began driving at 2:17 p.m. to 2:55 p.m. So I was driving during that time that she said. And at 2:55 p.m., I got to my office in Carson City right there. So if we zoom in here some more, you can see where my little blue lines in my GPS put me. And their office is right up over in this little area right here. So I would have had to go way up over here to be near their office. But yet there's like I said, there's well, that's a different sworn affidavit. Hang on, let's get back to the Guadalupe one. There's this sworn affidavit we've got. And I simply just question, how can my GPS data show me that I was over at all these different places? But you've got this attorney, Allison Curtis, and her employee swearing out a declaration in this case that I was somewhere that I never was. Then they use these declarations against me. Huh. Were they lying or am I lying? Who's lying? What do you think? Let me know. I don't think I'm lying. But things get even a little bit more interesting here. So if you look at these declarations here, you'll notice they're see if I can get a little bigger here for you. September 18th is when these declarations were filed, and they said that I was at this office September 15th and September 16th. But I got another little email here, and this email right here is from Lindsay Liddell. Now, Lindsay Liddell is not the lawyers for Build Our Center, like Ms. Allison Curtis is and Ms. Rachel Wise are. Ms. Lindsay Liddell is an attorney for Washoe County. She's the public's attorney. She's supposed to be representing Washoe County, their librarians, and all of the government employees that I'm suing. So remember that affidavit was September 18th, but this email is September 17th at 1:02 p.m. This email is before these affidavits were filed with the court and made public. Huh. But it looks like according to this email that Ms. Liddell wrote to her clients about me, saying that I'm a stalker here. As you may know, Drew Rebar recently became consumed with some events that occurred at the Reno Pride event. Well, that's because they kicked me off a private street. They told me I wasn't welcome on a public street. They kicked me off a public street. It was over on South Virginia and Midtown area, and they had a public street all barricaded off. Well, kind of barricaded off. They had a lot of open areas to walk in, so it wasn't really barricaded. But I wasn't allowed inside this pride area, and that's really what all this caused all of this right here. Well, not all this, but this part here where they want to get cease and desist orders against me. Well, lots of good questions here, but let me get back to this here. Anyways, according to this, I'm consumed with some events. Well, I'm not consumed. I'm just trying to figure out where the Constitution begins and where the Constitution ends, and who has equality and who does not, because I'm getting kicked out of events that are supposed to be public. And I'm just simply a straight white male that carries a camera around and records things. So, anyways, this letter came from Lindsay Liddell to her clients, and it's kind of really interesting. She talks about a lot of different things here. If at any time he does something that makes you feel unsafe, please utilize the county's workplace violence resources. Again, I wish nobody any ill will. Don't want to hurt anybody. I just want the law to work for everybody. If you're watching these videos and you reach out to the government entities or the public that's the public that's accessible, not don't go out and dox anybody. Only do things in the public realm. Let your government know what you think of these things. Don't threaten anybody. Don't be malicious with people. If you're going to make a point, try to make it kindly, try to make it professional, and try to do the right thing. Unlike what these attorneys are doing. So anyways, back to more attorney bullshit here. So evidently, if I make people feel unsafe, I should be reported to some violent resources. Violent resources here. So what's interesting here is the dates that this happened and the dates that the affidavits happened. So what this proves, since Lindsay Liddell knows all about on Monday and Tuesday of this week, he was seen waiting in private property parking lot of our center attorney's law office, presumably to engage in verbal altercation. So she's telling people that she represents that I was there to do something. And my behavior is escalating. So she had to be talking to the Our Center attorney, Allison Curtis, or somebody over there, about this whole scheme to set me up. Because again, remember, let's see here. Remember, I was never near there, but they swore to the court that I was. So let's get back to this this cease and desist thing they've got here. So I guess cease and desist accusing Ms. Curtis of either lying or having her employees put fake affidavits into the court. Well, I guess it's going to be just for the court to determine if they're fake or not. It's the court's decision to look at things and rule. I just simply offer, well, if you think I'm lying, go to Verizon and get the information. My carrier should be able to document what I'm saying. If you think I'm lying, I'm not lying. Anyways, back to this. Referring to Ms. Curtis as a lying Allison Curtis. Well, If I said it that way, what do you guys think? Did they tell lies to the court, or am I lying? If I'm lying, let me know. Reach out to me. Alleging without basis that the court issued a temporary restraining order against you because the attorneys lied. If these affidavits had never been submitted to the court, would you have been able to say that I was a danger of any type? I don't know. The court will have to decide if it used that information in making its decision and restraining my speech. Taunting Ms. Wise about having a good civil conversation with you. Ms. Wise, let me be really clear here. I want to have a good conversation with anybody on this issue. Here's the problem that I see. I've tried to mitigate the issue by writing letters in the very beginning to the library. I've tried mitigating the issue through the library board of trustees. I've tried mitigating the issue through the Washoe County commissioners. Nobody has sat down and tried to solve the problem with me. Please sit down with me. I'm not taunting you. But what I am doing is I'm sharing all the information that happens with the public with this case and my other cases too. My intention is to audit the system. And what I mean by audit is just like when the government comes in and audits my business, or the government comes in and audits your business. You audit it. You find out, is it working properly? Is it not working properly? And then you report your findings. This is simply doing that. There's no threat here. This is just what it is. This is just an audit that the people get to know about. And I'm using the power of my press rights to share the story. If people watch, they watch. If people don't watch, they don't watch. But evidently some people do watch this because there's a lot of interest in some of the shorts that I'm running. There's a lot of interest. The Reno Gazette-Journal, Mark Robinson has run issues with this. Reno News Review. This is Reno. Bob Conrad, don't like you, man. He's the guy that owns This is Reno. Don't give him any money. Unsubscribe. Lots of other media. Pecan Press. This library thing's been all over the media. And I'm simply sharing what's going on with it. And you don't want me to share what's going on, I'm guessing, because you, well, I don't understand. So let's get back to sitting down and having a conversation. I just wish one person that's representing either side of this case would sit down and we can resolve it. I mean, I don't want to tell this story. I don't want to tell the story. Let's end the story. Let's make things right. But let's get back to your cease and desist letter, since I don't really have much faith that you attorneys or anybody will sit down and actually just talk to me. Okay, some more cease and desist. Where were we at here with this thing? Yeah, have a good conversation with me. Implying that Ms. Wise volunteering to participate in the panel of the Southern Nevada Disciplinary Committee, she unethically caused the state bar to deny your complaints against Ms. Curtis. I don't think I said that. If I did, show me where I said that. I think the only thing that I ever do is ask questions. And I just found it interesting that you came into the case at the same time I was filing bar complaints. Is, you know, just like I showed you at the timing on Ms. Liddell's email to her clients when she shouldn't have had any knowledge of what was going on over at our Center Attorney Allison Curtis's law offices. I just simply asked the question, why don't the dates add up? So I'm just looking at you when you came into the case. I Googled your name, want to understand who you are. Again, with the hopes of working with you, with coming to a resolution. That way we don't have to have any relationship at all. End the case, end the relationship. Let's move on with our lives. That'd be great, wouldn't it? I mean, if you guys are working for free and donating your time to them like Allison Curtis's office is, supposedly, unless you guys are getting paid. Huh. That's a question. Are you getting paid? Hey, Matthew. Yeah, could be. I don't want to say anything like that right now. I'm trying to be careful with what I'm saying, Danny. Kind of careful anyways. No, I'm always pretty careful. Yeah, this whole thing is just rather interesting. It's like living in the Twilight Zone. Oh, is this the right one here? Nope, this isn't the right thing I wanted to have on the screen. I apologize. Let's get back to, that's the one I was sharing with everybody. And so let's get on to this thing here some more. The above referenced YouTube channel. Move this over here. Try to figure out. There. I think that looks the best. Anyways, the above referenced YouTube video is preceded by an ad and thus monetized. Uh-oh. Monetized. We are further aware that you have previously used this platform to advertise the sale of your towing business and that you receive monetary return, which directly correlates with the number of views you receive on your content. Yeah, I've offered to sell my towing company. Part of the reason I want to do that is, well, because of this lawsuit and all the other crap. Anyways, I'm going to address that here in a minute. This is one video of many in which you have engaged in defamatory and otherwise unauthorized conduct regarding BOC or its counsel. Defamatory. What's defamatory? Many of the other videos include the same, if not worse, inappropriate statements regarding counsel, and for that reason, this is not the first cease and desist demand you have received based on your YouTube videos and posts on other social media. Through these actions, you are in violation of certain legal protections granted to counsel, including the following non-exhaustive examples. NRS 597-790, right of publicity, misappropriation of name or likeness. Right of publicity. Huh. I'm just going to go back to Article 1, Section 9 of the Nevada Constitution. Free press. And guess what? You're operating the public domain. You're an attorney. Free press. I don't know how me saying your name in public or publishing information that's on public websites. Yeah, I'm confused. I wish you could explain that to me. That doesn't make a lot of deceptive trade practices, defamation, false light, harassment is what they're accusing me of. This non-conclusive list of violations that flow from your injudicious course of conduct are further addressed below. 597-790, by using counsel's name and likeness in your YouTube video for a commercial purpose without consent, you have violated counsel's right enumerated under NRS 597-90. This provision establishes the statutory right of publicity in Nevada. The statutory right of publicity. Publicity, news, media, press. public court cases, public filings. Sorry, I deviated. Protecting every person's name, voice, signature, and photograph and likeness from the unauthorized commercial exploitation. That's the issue. Commercial exploitation. So I'm not allowed to talk about things that I want to talk about selling my own personal stuff, doing my own personal stuff. Doing personal stuff is now commercial, I guess. Interesting. Without prior consent, the use of counsel's name and likeness is intended to generate users to your channels and other social media platforms to further your commercial benefit. No, this is designed to inform the public. I've lost way more money in this than I've ever gained. This is commercial. This is the dumbest business venture I've ever been on. Yeah, commercial. They just don't like it. Commercial. Again, I'll get to that part later. You don't have counsel's authorization to use their names and likeness for any purpose, and you are required to cease and desist of your course of conduct immediately. So I'm not allowed to say your name. Can't use your picture from your website. So everybody, just so you know, let me see if I can find it here for us. Don't want us to be too confused. There we go. What do we got right there? And where am I at? Pull that one down, pull that one up. Okay, don't use this for commercial purposes. This is the internet, people. Don't show, I can't show other people their commercial legal website where they're making money and a profit off of being attorneys. But I can't share that with y'all. It's just as baffling. Just friggin' baffling. So yep, they told me that I got to cease and desist doing this immediately. You're in violation of NRS 598-099-15-8 by disparaging the services and businesses of counsel by publishing and monetizing the YouTube video falsely. Claiming that counsel were engaged in dishonest, unethical, and unlawful conduct, including fabricating court filings, lying to the court, and improperly influencing state bar proceedings. I didn't claim, I just asked questions. So she says right here, YouTube video falsely claiming. Falsely claiming. I didn't falsely claim crap. This is nuts. I just asked questions. So again, the question is it a lie from my GPS screenshot of where I was? Or is it a lie that this employee of Allison Curtis in the Sierra Crest Business Law Group wrote an affidavit saying I was driving by there, slowly glaring in the windows, made her really uncomfortable. And after she saw a picture of me, she recognized me. And then they used that to the court to get a temporary restraining order against me. I'm simply asking the questions. The people get to decide. I just wish we could have an honest conversation. So let's see what this Deceptive Trade Practices Act is. In violation of NRS 598-0915, disparaging services, businesses. Yeah, I've already read part of this. Sorry about that. Fabricating court filings, lying, therefore demand that you cease and desist your activities. How's it disparaging if my GPS shows different than what your filed court documents show? Court documents are public. You filed them in the public realm, accusing me, and you used them against me to silence me. Let's go on to this next one. Defamation per se and trade libel. Again, this is just crazy. Your publication of statement addressing counsel's business, trade, and alleged criminal conduct is per se defamation. Well, I filed documents with the court that said that these things happened. I offered safe harbor to the attorneys that have been involved. Any reasonable attempt I've made to resolve the problem has been dismissed, or I've been accused of being vexatious or whatever all this other stuff is. So I'm really just not getting it. I made fictitious statements about the business and affiliation of Counsel. Statements are false. You're to stop your conduct immediately. My conduct is asking questions. I'm just questioning the validity of what you're saying. You violated counsel's privacy rights by putting them in a false light. What's the false light? Documents were filed. GPS information says something different. My carrier is Verizon. We're in a court situation. Go subpoena Verizon and get my records. Don't believe my screenshot if you don't want to. I don't get it. Who's lying? And you've got a right to privacy. Making remarks they engaged in unethical or criminal acts. You knew your remarks were untrue, and I don't know they're untrue. I'm asking a question. I know where I was, and I know what these affidavits say. How come nobody reached out to me to solve the problem? Your statements about counsel are wholly fictional, and we demand that you cease and desist from engaging in these acts immediately. E, harassment. Your conduct is nothing more than abhorrent harassment of counsel, because you know that you cannot succeed on the merits of your case. You created and uploaded your YouTube video as well as other content with the sole purpose of intimidating counsel. I'm not trying to intimidate anybody. I'm trying to get the information out to the public, telling a story about, let's get the LGBTQ crap out of it and just say Group A and Group B. Group A takes over a public library. Group A does not let Group B into the public library. The law says you cannot close a public library to the public. Did Group A violate the law that says you cannot exclude the public from the library by excluding Group B that they don't like? Simple argument. Is that constitutional? Same thing with the City of Reno and Our Center. Does Group A get to close down public streets and lock the public out of public streets while getting money from the City of Reno and getting compensation and having security paid for by the City of Reno, and exclude Group B from public streets and have a list of people that they specifically exclude from public streets? You're Group A, I'm Group B. Let's get rid of the black. Let's get rid of the white. Let's get rid of the rainbow. Let's get rid of all the anything else. It's A versus B, Group A versus Group B. Does Group A get to exclude Group B? Why won't you answer the question? And if you got no answer for the question, so your YouTube video is other content with the sole purpose of intimidate. I'm not trying to intimidate. Again, no attempt to intimidate here. Who represents an opposing party in an ongoing litigation, your ploy will not succeed. We demand that you stop. They just don't want me to publish what's going on in a public case. That's all. We demand that you cease and desist in referencing, displaying, using the name of a harassing counsel on any and all of your social media platforms. If you continue to use counsel's name, likeness in any social media platform, not only will we pursue all protections available to us under the law, but we send this letter to any platform hosting such content and demand that they remove the violating content. We will not send another demand. If my content gets taken down because you send letters out think about, I always like to look at life through the lens of liability, because I'm perfectly aware of what my liability is here. I'm fighting for the Constitution. I'm willing to go to jail for this. I've raised my kids. I've had successful business. Is the Constitution real? So you go ahead, and if you want to send letters to get my content removed, your clients have already done that. I don't know if your clients did, but Washoe County librarians did that. Well, this could be a very interesting long-term battle. I'd rather not have it that way. So anyways, I responded to that. Let me pull that up here for us, and I'll share with y'all what I said back here. Get this pulled up. There we go. Run right one. Where did it go? This is what I think I want to do. That'll make it easier. Okay, so what I wrote back was, greetings, Ms. Wise. I'm interested in sitting down and resolving this case, yet you seem to file new documents almost daily. Yeah, since this new law firm's gotten involved with this, we're up to 249 filings on this thing, I think, right now. It's crazy. As you know, I'm dealing with medical issues, and your constant filings are overwhelming and difficult to deal with due to my injuries. Got rear-ended by a semi-truck, kind of hurts your back and your neck and everything else. Excuse me again. My goal is to resolve this case while at the same time sharing with the public how our court system's executive branches function. Auditing. Could you be specific, quote, and provide the exact statements along with timestamps I made that you object to? So she just says in her email that she doesn't like what I said. I'm confused by your allegations about monetization and reporting on public events. Is your position that Joe Hart of KRNV and Mark Robinson of RGJ would be violating the law by reporting what attorneys do, since the RGJ and KRNV are commercial news ventures? Because she says that I cannot monetize my social media with my own businesses not being paid by anybody. Nobody's paying me. I'm not collecting money from any other corporations other than me, myself, and I. And I can't talk about selling my business. By the way, if you want to buy my business, it's for sale. There we go. See my plug there for myself. It's all about me. I can't talk about me according to what they're trying to say with the law. Where did the First Amendment go and the Constitution of the state of Nevada go? So, yeah. Is there a different standard for the court? Has called me as a self-described journalist. Yes, Judge Trom says I am a self-described journalist, so I need to understand what this means since there's an obvious court finding about this. Could you provide some case law for me to reference? So I'm just asking her from some case law where she's trying to give me what I can and can't do. Where's her perspective? Where's her argument? My commentary is based on my interpretation of publicly available court filings and proceedings and expressed his opinion on matters of public concern. Yeah, so unless I show you guys the, like this one they really hate, the letter from the attorneys that I got. Yeah, it's my opinion. If I'm lying about you, call me up, tell me, take it down. Show me where the lie is. If there are any factual inaccuracies, I'm open to reviewing them upon identification. Let me know. I try to be very accurate when I speak. I want to be very clear. I'm using social media to publish information and commentary for the purpose of informing the public on matters of public concern. And people are concerned with the drag queen stories in libraries, and people are concerned with free speech. Look what's going on in Great Britain right now. I want to be very clear. I'm using social media to publish information for commentary purposes, informing the public matters of public concern. Attorneys' actions in the public arena are matters of public concern. I look forward to hearing from you and hopefully resolving this case quickly, but if necessary, pursuing lawful appellate review of any issue I believe raise constitutional or procedural concerns respectfully. And then I did another follow-up email to that one just to clarify some more things. I say, greetings, Ms. Wise. To ensure I fully understand the accusations outlined in December 18th letter, I'm seeking clarification on several points. With respect to your statements that I accuse Ms. Curtis or her employees of submitting fake affidavits, can you identify which specific sworn statements you contend are accurate? So show me which affidavits are correct, Ms. Wise, please. Show me where I'm asking an unreasonable question. Where my device-based location data and carrier retained records indicate I was not physically present at the locations and times asserted. If those affidavits are correct, would you agree that objective location data obtained through lawful process should corroborate them? Again, go to Verizon. When you characterize my statements as allegations of criminal conduct rather than disputes over factual accuracy, can you explain how raising a verifiable discrepancy between sworn declarations and objective location evidence constitutes defamation rather than good faith factual dispute? Regarding your claim that I alleged that a court issued a TRO because the attorneys lied, excuse me, is it your position that questioning whether emergency relief would have been sought or granted absent allegations portraying me as a physical stalker is impermissible commentary on court proceedings? If so, can you identify the legal authority that prohibits such analysis or opinion? Give me some case law. Show me what you're show me the case law you're reading so I can read it. Where is the precedent? With respect to my questions concerning state bar processes and panel participation, are you asserting that members of the public are prohibited from questioning the structure, appearance, or outcomes of disciplinary systems involving attorneys? And I'd like you to look over at Mr. Michael Steinberg. His YouTube channel is Father in Exile. He's down in Las Vegas. I think he's suing the bar. I think he got Attorney General Ford's qualified immunity ripped apart. This is what he's telling me. So why can he sue people and question people and I can't? Anyways, I think, 'cause, 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 ' if we can't question what's going on with the state bar and the people serving on the state bar and their ethics and their morals and how they're following the law, what the hell can we do? Your letter repeatedly asserts that my statements are false without basis. Can you identify which specific statements are factually incorrect? So simply tell me where I'm wrong. Let's have a discussion. Let's have a talk. Let's solve problems. No facetiousness, complete 100% serious. Let's just have a talk and solve the problems. That's all I'm about. Finally, it is your position that commentary based on publicly available filings, sworn declarations, and court proceedings, expressed as opinion on matter of public concern loses constitutional protection solely because it is published on monetized platforms. I'm attempting to understand your position clearly and to address any legitimate concerns without further escalation. If you believe any statement I've made is factually inaccurate, I remain open to reviewing it upon identification. I look forward to your clarification. So she responded, Mr. Rebar, we cannot provide you with legal advice. If you have questions about the facts and law, please contact. I haven't found a civil rights attorney to represent this case, and I've tried. So why don't you just simply communicate with me like you would another attorney professionally? Pick up the phone. I'm going to record the call, or send me a professional email that says, hey, Mr. Rebar, how can we resolve this? We agree with you here. We don't agree with you there. Yada, yada, yada. I mean, once we get back into discovery after this next amended complaint is hopefully added to the record, it'll be open for discovery. It'll be time for admissions. So why not just do the admissions right now? Anyways, I guess that's what she wrote back to me. So I wrote, thank you for your interesting response. I didn't ask for any legal advice. Don't want any legal advice. I just want logic, common sense, case law, precedent, and what the black and the white of the statutes say. That's all I want. Not seeking legal advice nor you to advise me on my rights or obligations. I'm attempting to understand the scope and factual basis of the accusations and demands you chose to make in your December 18th cease and desist letter. With that in mind, I have a few clarifying questions so there is no misunderstanding when your letter asserts that my statements are false without basis or constitute defamation. Let me go back here real quick. And again, I just want to put this up here. There's the Declaration of Guadalupe that said I was there over on September 16th. And here is where I was at on September 16th. And we'll go back to this. Identifying which specific statements you contend are false would constitute providing me legal advice. So tell me where I'm lying, because I'm just asking a question. Is my GPS right, or is the affidavit right? If I'm expected to comply with a cease and desist demand, how am I to do so without knowing which precise statements, timestamps, or factual assertions you contend are improper when your letter characterizes my commentary as alleging criminal conduct rather than disputing factual assertions contained in affidavits? Are you asserting that distinguishing between a factual dispute and an accusation of crime is a legal conclusion rather than a clarification of your position? I'm saying that based on what I'm seeing, I believe a crime was committed. The judge gets to decide, though, doesn't she? Again, let's not even make it. Let's sit down with me, talk to me. Let's resolve this whole case. I don't like this. I don't want to do this. I just want to solve the problem. Problem's already mostly solved. Jeff Scott's gone. The assistant library director, Stacy McKenzie, on December 4th got fired by Washoe County. Even County Manager Brown is gone. He was involved in this too, remember? So Washoe County's been purging people. Wonder why. None of this would have anything to do with it, would it? Or are the people that were there just doing some other things that weren't right? Is it your position that asking whether objective evidence would corroborate or contradict sworn statements is a request for legal advice rather than a request for factual clarification? Again, she thinks that I'm asking for legal advice here. No, I'm just saying, do you want to agree that my screenshots are real, or do you want to go to Verizon and get the data from them? What do you want to do? If you contend that my questions regarding monetization, press standards, public interest, commentary are legally improper, is it your position that explaining that theory would necessarily require you to provide legal advice as opposed to explaining the basis of your own allegations? Just give me some case law. Show me where the case law says CBS, ABC, NBC, Fox, Wall Street Journal, all those people can be monetized, right? But I can't. I think that Fox and every ABC, they're all showing these pictures of the Epstein stuff now, ain't they? AP was just Associated Press is making a profit off of showing the Epstein pictures, right? I heard Bill Clinton's kind of upset about some of that stuff. How come they can get paid? I'm attempting to address your concerns in good faith to understand what conduct you are demanding I cease. Again, you don't want me talking about false things. Don't want me defaming anybody. I get it. I don't want to do that. Show me where I've ever done that. Show me how it's illegal for me to use your, well, let me just pop my ugly face back up here. Show me how is this illegal? Get all that screen there, Rachel. How is that illegal for me to share that? Show me the case law. Don't want legal advice. Just show me the rules. I'll follow the rules. No problem. So yeah. Rachel, get back to me. Just want to resolve the problems. Want to run my campaign for candidate for Nevada Assembly in peace and have this behind us and try to make some changes at the legislature that will make the government more accountable to we the people. Because that's really what it's all about. Oh, and so since you don't want me to be able to monetize stuff, I 100% disagree with you that I can self-promote my own endeavors. And so I started a new business, everybody, just so you know. And the new business is kind of cool. Let me share that with you here. And I can get that up here. So this is my new little business. In the last 90 days or so, I had 104 million views on social media. And so I'm looking at it going, can I help other people do the same thing that I've done for me? That's kind of amazing. And I think I can. And so there's my views, 56, 24 million. So my new little business is called rebarmedia.com. And I just help you manage your videos, post them, edit them up, and whether you're in the political arena, I think I can help you with that. Running a small business can help you with that. Running a big business, I can help you with that. Anything you need a social media presence for, well, if you need me to help you, I can help you. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, go there. But kind of an interesting space to be in. Never thought I'd have, yeah. letter is kind of intimidating. So in this whole process, the library's gotten my YouTube channel demonetized. Had a takedown notice on my other channel. They put it back up because Bob Conrad, that supports these people, has been filing copyright strikes against me. Now they got this other huge 50 state law firm involved in this. You think they're doing this pro bono for free? Or you think somebody's paying them? Anyways, if you want to help me out, there's a link to a Venmo form down in this too. Yeah, I'll bet you, 100%. I'll bet you somehow the taxpayers are paying for this. Somehow, somewhere, some way, taxpayers, yeah, I'll bet you're right, 100%. Well, I already showed where the City of Reno gave him $5,000. The RSCVA, they gave him more money. Bob Conrad, that collects tax dollars, gave him a bunch of money. Yeah, I've been thinking about that. Videos versus shorts. I might stop doing as many shorts on YouTube, and the shorts are doing better on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and that stuff. So I might change things up with how I'm posting here. And yeah, thought about that. Anyways, that's kind of what's going on with the cease and desist. So obviously, Ms. Wise, as far as the cease and desist goes, I sent you my response. I just need to know exactly what you want me to cease and desist. I believe everything that I've said is backed up with documentation. I'm simply asking questions and stating my beliefs and my opinions that somebody's lying and it ain't me. So strategically, I just ask myself why you would get involved in this case and reassert the affidavits. I think you'd want to be neutral and look at those affidavits. And if you don't trust me, again, go to my carrier. Let's do a subpoena. Let's see if, let's see who's right and who's wrong. But I don't know why you just don't want to call me up. I'll record the call, send me an email, and let's just have a real conversation. Did your clients do this? Do you admit this? And let's make the problem go away. Let's end the problem. I mean, they already interfered in a political campaign, which is a violation of the law for the IRS. And yeah. And I filed complaints. So let's just end the problems. Let's sit down like adults and say, hey, this is it. This is what it is. And come up with a solution that your client can agree to and I can agree to. And we can end this whole thing. On the other hand, if you want to go forward and you want to make some case law, I'm very interested in making case law. I want to set precedents. I want to solve the problem. This is the same reason I'm running for the legislature in Nevada as an assemblyman, so we can solve these problems. Yeah, they don't want they don't want their stuff recorded. So it's just baffling why they won't talk to me. True that. Anyways, everybody, thanks for watching. I'm going to cut this one off now. I think I made my point. I'm going to publish what's going on in this case because people are interested in it. Freedom of press, freedom of speech. God bless America. And with that, have an awesome day.